beat.
Yes, people, big up to everyone. Welcome back to episode number 92 of the Monday Night Madness, the show that we like to call the Mud Brothers Show, where we discuss everything regarding Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Tottenham Hotspur. My club, unfortunately, did not have a game this weekend because we are out of the Champions. Oh, not the Champions League. Sorry, we're out of the FA Cup. So we were on holiday. We were on vacation. We went on a little bit of a vacation this weekend. You know, we didn't have the best and most positive of results against West Ham. Didn't honestly play the best either. So this break could have been a little bit useful for us. Hopefully, it was useful for us. We have even a further extended break. We don't play until Monday next week. So, and that's going to be immediately before we're going to do Mud Brothers immediately after the game as well. So that's not until next Monday. So we have an entire another week, and we don't play Champions League this midweek, of course, as well too. And I think there is Champions League this midweek, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, point is, we didn't play this weekend. We got a little bit of a rest, but there were teams that did play. Some of the teams on this very show, Arsenal obviously picking up a 4-0 win against Wigan Athletic in the FA Cup at the Emirates. Chelsea playing against Hull City, I believe. I think Pedro Neto got a hat trick. Those are the two teams I ended up putting in the thumbnail. I'm not sure if couldn't tell you where Tottenham are at, to be honest. I honestly couldn't tell you where Tottenham are at, but Thomas Frank got sacked. So that is something that I guess we will discuss a little bit on this show as well too. There's a couple more things. Obviously, we didn't discuss last week's fixtures because the fixtures were right after Mud Brothers as well last Monday. So we have West Ham game that we can talk about a little bit. We have Arsenal's Brentford game, Chelsea's results, of course, as well. Them drawing to Leeds. We can discuss all those things, but before we obviously get into the show, make sure you guys do run up the likes. Make sure you guys do subscribe. We're on the road to 2K subscribers. I think we are close to 1,100. So make sure you guys keep supporting the channel. Keep liking and subscribing, of course. The rest of the guys will show up in a little bit whenever they can. It is just a solo dolo currently by myself. But if you guys have any questions, we can pretty much get into it. I'll start off with the United game because we didn't obviously have a game this weekend, so I can just pretty much give my thoughts on the West Ham game since we haven't talked about it on this show. I think out of all the performances in this 5-game run, first of all, I want to put this thing out there. I honestly couldn't give two shits about that guy cutting his hair for 5 games in a row. Honestly, I couldn't care. Do I think there's been discussions of has it been affecting the players? No, I don't think it's been affecting the players. If it is in any way, shape, or form affecting the players, that's crazy to me, to be honest. Because it's you shouldn't even be focusing on these outside things. But anyways, I couldn't give two shits about that. So I just wanted to make that and get that out of the way and stick to the game. The game itself, though, out of all the performances that we've had in these 5 games for Michael Carrick so far, I would definitely say that was our worst performance. More so offensively, attacking wise, our front 4 in that game were not good. Even though one of them ended up getting an assist for the only goal that we scored in that game. Besides that assist, we were not good. He wasn't good. And everyone, Amad Diallo, Cunha, guys that I've praised week in, week out, guys that I've praised in this 5-game run that Michael Carrick has had, weren't good in this game. And that's simply it. West Ham weren't the best team either. There was not much of a difference. I think I could say that we played better overall in the entire 90 minutes. Whether it was a game of two halves, I guess you could argue that, but we played better in the entire 90 minutes. Do we deserve to win? I don't think we deserve to win, but we had chances at the end. Sesko obviously scored an absolutely magnificent goal, absolute quality from him. And this is something that like I've been talking about with Sesko for a while now, is that I've been critical of him. I've said this on previous match reaction shows regarding United, maybe even on this show before too, but I have not rated Sesko since he joined us. Like I've wanted to see more from him, and I've expected a little bit from him as well. I think the biggest thing that I'm critical of him most of the time is that I feel like he does get a lot of chances, right? I feel like he does get a lot of chances in games where he should be bagging and he doesn't. And sometimes if you really look at it, they're kind of easy chances. Like chances that one header that he had that he should have scored. Um, I could think of even games under Ruben Amorim where he had some chances that he should have been scoring. So that's something that I've been critical of Sesko for a while now. But even with that being said, and even though I am critical, for him to take a chance like that, and to score a goal like that is quality. And I do give him a lot of credit. I gave him credit for the goal that he scored against Fulham. I thought he did well there too. That was the team that he missed that header against. I gave him credit for the goal against Fulham, and he scored another very good goal in this game as well, and kind of saved us in that game. I think a draw would have. I think a draw ended up being a fair result. I don't think we deserve to win. I don't think our attack showed enough for us to deserve to win. We had that little chance at the end where Mdinero should have probably taken a shot, but he decided to pass, and turned out to be the way that it turned out to be. But yeah, it's just like we're still unbeaten in this run. We have a tough game coming up, which is Everton. It's our first time playing in that stadium, the Hill Dickinson Stadium. I think that's what it's called. It's our first time playing in that stadium. Everton, I could go through their results, but I feel like they've been kind of balanced, hit and miss here and there. They've been winning games and probably losing games. So it's two away games back to back for us. Um, West Ham has been a tough place for us to go to. The London Stadium has been a tough place for us to go to in recent years. We haven't been getting good results. And this one is just like I couldn't. It's not like we're playing there for the first time. So let me look at their results real quick. So they lost their previous game to Bournemouth. They won against Fulham before that at Fulham. They drew against Brighton. They drew against Leeds. They won at Villa. They're out of the FA Cup to Sunderland. They lost to Brentford 4-2. They've been on an okayish run of form. Okayish, but it's a tricky game. It's a tricky game. Big as Spooby. Yeah, no worries, bro. Every single time. Every single time. Yeah, so that game is a little difficult, but I think I have enough confidence in this team and in these players under this manager currently because of what I've seen in at least those 4 games against pretty good opposition as well. I mean, we played 2 of the top 3 teams in the Premier League. One of them we battered. The other one, honestly, we battered in the second half, at least I could say. So we kind of battered both those teams. And we played, and I give them credit for that. And I think that's the point I'm trying to make, is that maybe West Ham could have just been an off day. I'm not sitting here saying it's worrying signs or whatever. Maybe West Ham could have just been an off day. We had we had a tough time breaking them down. Now, if you want to bring that down to just those individual front 4 who weren't just able to do good enough, I hear it. But also, I do give West Ham a little bit of credit too, because throughout that game, they kept their shape very well defensively, and they made it difficult for us to break them down. Because I know these players have quality, like these Ahmad and all these guys, Cunha, like they've been in good form, and Buemo's been in good form. He's been scoring in like damn near every single game, and they've been in good form. And maybe it could. I'm hoping, and I think maybe it is just a single off day that they had against a side who, yes, I know they are where they are in the table. But I look at how they've been playing in the past couple of games. They give Chelsea a game at the Bridge, and I saw that game. And they honestly should have won that game. And it came simply down to the fact that they just couldn't finish their chances. That's really what it was. They just couldn't finish their chances. That's what you kind of would expect from a side that is where they are in the table, right? 18th or 19th or no, sorry, 17th or 16th, wherever they are. A team that just can't finish their chances, but they did more than enough to um to come back in that game. First of all, oh, well, actually, they took the lead. Yeah, so they played well, and then should have finished their chances at the end, and it could have been a different result. But that's what you kind of get. But yeah, West Ham did well defensively, kept a good shape. I think it was merely just an off day from some of our players. Defensively for us, I think we did well. When Euro came on, he made those crucial defensive contributions at the end. And yeah, I just think I think it was just an off day. I think we'll be all right. But it's a tough game. Everton is a tough game. We'll see how we turn out to play. I would keep the lineup pretty much the same. I wouldn't pretty much I wouldn't really change anyone. I would keep the lineup pretty much the same. And we move. We see where we go from there. The top four race is well on. I've been saying this. We're now in a top four race. We need to accept this now. I think everybody around the club, players included, manager included, staff, everyone should realize that we are now in the position that we are in. We are in a top four race. We need to be at a certain level and be at a certain standard now. It's the bare minimum for a club like Manchester United to be in a top four. And to be honest, I said this at the start of the season for Ruben Amorim. Did I think we were going to get into the top four? No. Do I now think that we have a solid chance to get into the top four? Yeah. Do I think we actually can get into the top four? Yeah, I genuinely do. But I didn't say this at the start of the season, and how things can change simply just because we got rid of a manager and we changed our manager. And probably if we had done that maybe earlier on in the season, maybe at the start of the season, who knows where we could be? Maybe higher in the table, maybe lower in the table, but things would be different. And I would guarantee you that we wouldn't see all those terrible performances, games like Everton at home when they went down due to their own mistake and we couldn't break them down with 10 men. With a lot of those players who would be starting next week playing in that game and starting on that day. So, yeah, that's what we came from and look at the run that we're in now. Michael Carrick has not lost a game for United in both his stints. He has not lost a game. So I'm confident, and I give him credit, and I'm up for these games now. That's the biggest difference as a United fan. I think you could ask any United fan. You could ask your friends who are United fans. You could ask content creators, myself. Um, we are like I've never been excited to watch games and up to like just up for it to watch games for a very very long time. It's been at least like 2 years. We went through that terrible season with Ten Hag, and then we went through this absolutely. We went through worse with Ruben, and now we're actually in like a good run of form, and we're actually playing well too. So yeah, full praises for them in terms of that. But yeah, I get frustrating result against West Ham. Disappointing, you can say if someone is disappointed with it, that we should be beating a side that is 17th in the league. 100%, I hear it. You can't argue against that, but I think it's just merely an off day, and we will come back to it, and we'll be back to we'll be back to winning ways against Everton. I think we get a result. Keep the lineup the same, like I said. I would keep the lineup the same. Big up to SBO. He says Wolves 1-1. Arsenal. Damn, you think Tottenham beat Arsenal 5-2? It's crazy. They have just gotten a new manager, by the way, Tottenham. I guess we can talk about Tottenham real quick, a little bit. So, if you guys didn't know, Thomas Frank has been relieved of his duties. Shout out to Mdinero and shout out to Jez. They all have freedom now. They had their Independence Day from their manager. That was terrible. Um, and they've got Igor. What's his guy's name? Ex-player. I'm hearing. I know nothing about this guy. I'll tell you that. And I don't really care too much about Tottenham as well. But This new manager. Crazy that his first game is a North London derby. New manager bounce for Arsenal against Tottenham, and it's the North London derby. Damn. Should be an interesting, tricky game. But it's Igor Tudor. Igor Tudor, that's his name. Who's now been announced as the interim manager for Tottenham. Let's see a little bit of background about him. Let's see. Make sure you guys are running up the likes as well, people. He is a former player, Croatian. He used to play as a center back. He's played for Juventus before. Spent most of his career at Juventus, 110 appearances for them, and the Croatia national team. Managerial, he's managed. He was the interim manager for Juventus and Lazio. He's managed Marseille before. He was the assistant at Juventus. He's had good ties with Juventus, basically. Juventus center back. So he's now the manager of Tottenham Hotspur. I couldn't tell you anything about him. I don't know anything about his I don't know anything about his seasons. I know, but someone who does know something about his seasons, someone that something that I've been using to kind of help me. But here we'll ask AI. Sure, AI knows, and AI could break it down for us. Tell me about Igor Tudor joining Spurs, and what does it mean for the near future? I don't know nothing, so guess this is a great way. Okay, so why was he appointed? They have appointed Igor Tudor as a interim head coach until the end of the season, after sacking Thomas Frank, while the club sits 16th in the Premier League and only a few points clear of the relegation zone. The deal is intended to be short-term, purely focused on survival. Damn, even AI thinks that they are in a full-on relegation battle. They just said the deal is intended to be short-term, purely focused on survival. Tottenham are in a full-on relegation battle. Oh man, that's crazy. And we lost to this team. Is what it is. Big up to my guy Spooby though. Spooby, big up to you, bro. What are you telling me?
Big up, everyone. Big up. Hey, we're talking about Igor, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I actually don't know that much. I think he went winless in like 8 in Juventus, and I think they sacked him because he wasn't performing. But yeah, I don't know too much. I don't know what kind of football he plays, but it'll be fun to see. I mean, you were mentioning earlier about the new manager bounce against Arsenal. Hey, that would be fucking hilarious. But big up, Shik. Big up, everyone.
Yeah, big up to you every single time, bro. Yeah, I was just quickly doing Tottenham. I'll just talk a little bit more about him before we'll get your thoughts on United and everything. So I'm hearing situation he's walking into is pretty much sure. I've just written something to AI, and I'm seeing what AI is trying to tell me about Igor Tudor, because I don't know anything about him, right? How he could impact Spurs, sharper organization, risk and concerns. There's just not anything.
Yeah, it's just you're not going to get much. I mean, it's an interim, right? It's not like it's just interim. So I'm just steady the ship is what I guess. I mean, people are saying, do you actually really think they're in a relegation battle?
Yeah, I think they are. They are terrible, bro. Yeah.
I think they can still beat other teams around that kind of position. I just don't think they're going to do well against like sort of like the teams above them. We've seen them their last game against Newcastle. We see how that went. I mean, they played all right for like maybe 20 minutes in that game, but Newcastle just kind of turned it up a level. And
I think that was just Frank. Yeah, Frank was still coach for that game, right? Yeah. That's just Frank. Frank.
I don't know.
Okay, so here, let's see this. So at Marseille, because he managed Marseille from in the 22-23 season, he finished third in League One and qualified for the Champions League. He also was playing an aggressive wingback system known for intense pressing. His best winning run was 8 wins in a row. And Marseille ended up pushing PSG a little bit for the title race, but they ended up finishing third. Got big wins over Monaco and Rennes. Worst losing run was 3 straight defeats late in the season. So could have put up a potential title challenge with Marseille that season. He ended up getting 3 straight defeats. His form dipped in the running, costing them second place. Overall, high ceiling, but momentum swings. Then he ended up going to Lazio after Sarri resigned. So he had a very short stint at Lazio. I went to a Lazio game, by the way, when I went to Europe. Absolutely
good,
crazy.
yeah.
Yes, the
Yeah, Lazio
atmosphere
fan.
is insane. Absolutely insane at Lazio. They really, and it was nice to be at the Rome stadium as well. Unfortunately, we lost a Champions League final there to Barcelona.
That's right.
I had to witness that. But it is what it is. But yeah, back to Lazio. He had mixed results and he left at the end of the season, even after that short spell. His best run was about 3 wins in a row. He stabilized Lazio after a chaotic period. His worst run was a 3-match losing streak as well, a demand imprisonment for the man they called Thomas. Big up to Jez as well. Every single time. Jez, it's a perfect time for you to be here because we're just kind of discussing Igor, your new manager. I would love to hear your thoughts.
More than us, yeah.
Yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts on this in the comment section. Or if you want the link, you're always welcome to join. But that's his run in Lazio. Then he went to Juventus for the interim, like you said. Took over late in the season. This is in 2024. His best run was unbeaten for several matches immediately after arrival, and he improved their defensive shape noticeably. His worst run was he didn't have any long losing streak in that short spell, but performances were inconsistent and not dominant, more of a stabilizer than a momentum builder. I'll send you the link. I got you. I'll send it to you on Twitter in 1 second.
You said wing back, so he's a 5 at the back.
That was his Marseille run. That's what they're saying about his Marseille job. Then he also had a that's crazy, Benito. That's crazy. Not going to bring that up. I'm not going to bring that up. 1 sec, Jazz. I'm sending it over right now to you. But yeah, what do you think, Swoops? Thoughts?
No, like I want to hear what Jez thinks because obviously like Jez knows his shit. So, but what I'm hearing is it to stabilize, just kind of keep the ship from rocking. Just try and get some wins here and there. I don't know. I don't think they're in a relegation battle. I don't think it's that bad. But then I could be wrong. You know what it is? Remember when like we were doing really bad with Amarim, and people from other team, like other supporters, right, looking at us, and it's like, oh, it's not that bad. You guys aren't that bad. But then unless you're supporting the team week in, week out, you can't really see how bad it is. I mean, that's what I could be doing. But no, yeah, I just think Igor just steady the ship. And like what you were saying. But I want to hear more. I don't know enough to say. I need to go back and look at research into like Igor and shit. But I think it's just interim, so well, can't hurt, right? I mean, Frank was terrible, so like it would be hypocritical.
Going based off of what I just read so far in terms of his spells that he's had, most of his spells that he's had, to be honest, in the last couple of years have been short stints, interims. So he's not really been at a club for an entire season. I'm guessing, unless it was like other than Marseille, and it looks like Hellas Verona as well, another team in Serie A. So he's had short stints in the past couple of seasons. But it looks like every single time he's joined
the club.
He's added a little bit of stability to the team. Whether he's finished off the season well or not, it doesn't look like that's been the case most of the time. Other than Marseille is the only time he finished in the Champions League with the club. But
from what you were saying, it seems like every time they joins into a club, they start getting good results, and then kind of just fades.
And it's like this is not, even though like he's only been to the Champions League probably once in his time so far at all these clubs. I don't think Spurs fans are asking for him to be in the Champions League. I think they're asking for him to add that little bit of stability. And we're gonna hear from Jez. I sent him the link. He's gonna join in just a sec. But I think that's really what it is. And based off of what I'm hearing now, I could be wrong. I don't know anything about him. Neither does Spooby. So it's like I'm just going based off of what I'm reading. But it looks like most of the time when he does join these teams, he goes on he adds a little bit of stability and just kind of when the club is a little chaotic, he kind of brings them back a little bit into place. He doesn't overachieve. He doesn't also over exceed his expectations. I think he just kind of stabilizes the team when he does join. So if he can do that with Tottenham, obviously he's walking into one of the massive games at the club. I think it would probably, there's nothing probably, I don't think Spurs think they'll do anything in the Champions League. Domestic cups, I don't know where they're not in the Carabao Cup. Are they in the FA Cup? I'm not sure.
No, I don't think so.
So they don't have a lot much to fight for. So if anything, this is going to be like a cup final for them. And it could be a great game for him to be in the club, but it can also on the other side be a terrible game for him to be at the club. Let's not get mistaken. Arsenal are one of the best teams in the Premier League currently at this moment, and they have their number every single time. Like every single time they play them, they beat them, and they beat them convincingly. So that's always going to be there, but I think it could be a little bit of that's a game to look out for. That's one thing for sure. That's a match to look out for. New manager bounce. I think the fans will be a little bit up for it because Thomas Frank's not there no more. Jazz will tell us if he's going to watch that game. He wasn't watching the games under Thomas Frank.
Oh, was he not watching?
So
okay.
He wasn't because he just was checked out for
just tired.
Early time. So, yeah, it's just like I think it could be great, but it could also be terrible. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Obviously, they have a couple of players back. Dominic Solanke looks like he's back. He's been back for a couple of games. But the rest of the guys, the squad still isn't the best. But we have a Spurs fan though in the building to talk to us about it. Shout out to you, Pels, as well. Every single time.
Big up, Pels. Big up.
But Jez is in the building. Welcome back, Jez, to the channel. Welcome to Mud Brothers as well. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I hope you two doing good as well, man. I was just listening.
Yeah, every single time, bro. Every single time.
I want to hear Jez. So when you heard the Thomas Frank news, what was your first reaction? Was it football's back? I'm gonna watch every game now, or was it like?
I would say when I first heard the news, it's like just believe. I would say, because I've been very vocal about the idea that if Thomas Frank would have stayed to the end of the season, in my personal opinion, I think we would have guaranteed going down. It was a guarantee. Like he would have not been able to get sneak couple results, because the only time the manager used to sneak results were draws, and draws at this point weren't good enough considering West Ham is picking form up, Leeds is picking the form up. So for me, it was relief, because at least it's not a guarantee anymore that we're gonna get relegated. But it's still a good chance that we can get relegated considering the circumstances that we're currently in. So yeah, just relief, to be honest, because like I said, it wasn't working. It should have happened way earlier.
Yeah.
And they just delayed it to a point where even they had to admit their own fault, and their own decision to keep him as long as they did could still impact the club long term a lot. So like I said, relief, I would say. Like, not happiness, because happiness for me would have been like, okay, now we can turn the corner. We can maybe see if we can make a late run to the end of the season, see if we can get Europe and anything. No, I wouldn't say that, because where we was in the table, it's way too late for that now.
Yeah. What do you think now though? It's like, do you still think you're in like a relegation like battle?
Still 100% a relegation battle, because I wouldn't. It's just that it's not a guarantee that we're getting relegated. So I would say that now with an Igor Tudor, I would say it's a 50-50. He's either gonna come in and keep us up, or the state of the team now is just in such a bad state where they're just gonna go down just from a fitness level. Exactly, like, because all our best players are all out. Maybe Van der Ven is probably, because you would consider Van der Ven as one of our best players. He's probably the only one I would say is fit. Everybody else is out. So that's the question. And I kind of feel sorry for. I kind of felt sorry for any manager who came in. For me, it's not about Igor Tudor, or you could have gotten a different manager. And I feel sorry for them because
It's like not a good setup to like walk into, and like
at
it's
all,
terrible to walk
like
into.
consider,
Yeah,
I don't remember a team that was in a relegation battle. The team sacked the manager very late, as late as we did, considering we had 12 first team injuries, and we had the injuries during the January windows already, and the club
yeah,
didn't address it properly. So
yeah.
it's a weird situation. It's a weird situation for this manager, to be honest.
Well, what do you think? What do you know about Igor Tudor, this interim
Um,
manager? Obviously, I don't
so
know anything. I just asked Chat GBT, and we were just
yeah,
kind of reading some of his like past results at previous clubs, his best winning runs, and like what he's done when he's come to clubs. It looks like most of his stints have been like interim stints, like short terms.
yeah,
Only a couple of seasons. I think it was Marseille where he maybe spent an entire season and he finished in the top three. Other
yeah,
than that, he's had okay runs, but like I was just talking to Spooby, it looks like most of the times when he's had these stints, he's kind of walked in and stabilized, not like over exceeded his expectations, but he's kind of stabilized the club or whatever chaos that club was going through. Um, is there
mm,
anything more that you know about him or like specifically?
no. So
Yeah, just like yeah, go ahead. Mhm.
so for me, it's just as somebody who just watched football, and like I watched him, and I watched his team under Juventus. I watched his team under Lazio. I did watch his Marseille teams as well. So um, the situation that he's walking in right now is completely different to the other ones, but in the same context. But you can kind of use the same context that all three teams at the stage where he joined them, they weren't in a good place. Juventus, they came off Thiago Motta, who was looking like he lost completely the locker room. They were
Yeah,
looking like they weren't going to get Champions League and everything. And this is when he stepped in and turned it around, gave them Champions League football, got the better out of the players that were out of favor with the previous manager, and was able to obviously do what he was supposed to come and do.
yeah,
And Marseille, but it's funny because I was listening to like a podcast, where Marseille fans obviously were describing not Deserbi, Igor Tudor when he first came in, and how they didn't like Igor Tudor for the football that he was playing. But then when he started off at Marseille, and once the season started, a lot of Marseille fans were like blown away with how well the results were going at the beginning,
yeah. I was
and how
reading he playing a back five at Marseille,
yeah,
like
yeah,
wing back.
he plays a back three, like he plays like a
I think
three
yeah,
four three, a 3-4-3, a 3-5-2. Yeah, like, but he's a more of a back three manager. Like he's known
yeah.
for back playing the back three. So
Mhm.
which for me is totally fine. In context of where we are currently in the season, I don't even mind it. For me, it's not about getting the most tactical manager in. Big up, big up Gunner G.
Big adventure every single time.
Yeah, for me, it's not about getting the most tactical manager in my eyes, because this is not the situation that we're in. Like, for example, because I saw a lot of our fans get upset about getting Igor in, but then you can't compare our situation to any other situation. Like Man United, for example, Amrin was terrible, but at least he was up there in the top seven, at least top eight. So
Yeah.
we're not talking about the Man United that was fighting relegation. They just needed a new manager, new ideas, and everything. We're talking
Mhm.
about a team that not only is dealing with injuries, but is dealing with low on morale, and the fact that we are currently fighting for relegation. So for me, it was always about it's not about being pretty at this point. It's about just being ugly and being able to get results, because this is what the last manager wasn't able to do. And
Yeah.
I think he's the right manager based on his record for all the teams that he came in as interim before he maybe took full time. And I think it was the right decision to go for somebody like him. And to be honest, there's no other manager that I can think of who's a free agent that fit more the prescription of a manager that we needed more than him. To be honest, I don't think that
Yeah.
trying to get Javi, or trying to get a Javi, for example, which I think a lot of our fans wanted, or I've seen even names like Marco Rose from former Leipzig manager. Obviously, he's a free agent right now, but I think
Mhm.
these three types of examples of managers would have been a bad fit with the current situation. So for me,
Position.
I'm not the biggest fan of Ego Tudor personally, but I can understand considering what the situation is. To be honest, like at this moment in time, it's all about results. It has nothing to do with what football I like or what the fans love. We just need somebody in who can motivate not only our players, because this is what Frank reportedly was struggling with a lot, but also getting just the fans behind and like making actually these home games actually feel like home games. Like our home games this season felt like away games more times than not.
Yeah, I went to a
Considering
Tottenham home game. I went to a Spurs home game. It was not good.
it
It
was
was really not
like
good.
I was listening. Like
It was
obviously, you
it was just toxic. Everyone was just like cussing out, like just
You
cursing.
fucking mug.
Like
Get out of my club.
the infamous story that I talked about before. Me and my friends, we got yelled at by fans because everyone was just like losing their head in there because the team was just playing terrible. Like it was terrible football. And then
the thing is,
after we went to like go eat, and I will never forget this because after the game, they lost 2-1 by the way, and it was to Fulham. After the game, Frank comes out because they were booing Vicario the entire game. Frank came out and said that if you were booing Vicario, you were not a real Spurs fan, and that just made everything even more worse. Because after the game, they were all everywhere where I went, they were all talking about Thomas Frank and how he's
bro,
terrible. And
and the
yeah, it
thing
was
is,
bad, bro.
it wasn't even the first time or second time that he said something like this about the fans. Like
Crazy.
even
Yeah.
like when we played Chelsea the first time this season at our ground, he was talking about how um and we was terrible in this game. This had nothing to do with the fans, but he was
Yeah.
indirectly blaming the fans for not putting in more effort to support the team. Bro, we could have supported the team all we wanted. Did you see how he set us up against Chelsea?
I think blaming fans for losing a game in any way, shape, or form is unbelievable. The fans have
Bro,
nothing to do with it, bro.
That's the beginner of the end,
like,
I think.
like,
Once
like,
that happens.
like for me, I wanted him sacked long time ago. But bear in mind, them times there was still a lot of Frank backers. So the fact that he still had the cheek to say that, considering how many people were still backing him, was crazy to me.
Yeah,
So
that's insane.
so for me, it's just more crazy. And again, it shows us the incompetence of the board in the end of the day. The fact that they let a manager like this stay for this long and also gave him a January window. And to top it off, it was one of the most media. I don't think this. I don't think I've seen a worse January window like this at the football club. But then surprised, like when you have a bad director of football, a bad CEO, and a bad manager, this what just happens. So we put ourselves in this situation. I still don't think we are safe from the relegation, but at this point, we just gotta hope that Igor Tudor can just do what he did in his previous jobs. I'm not necessarily gonna go and blame him if he can't do it because again, I don't think the situation. I don't think of any manager right now who can come into the situation and generally save us. To be honest,
Yeah. Well, he's walking into one of the biggest games of your season. It is the North London derby this weekend. Tottenham versus Arsenal. What do you think,
yeah.
what do you think, Jess?
Mm.
New manager bounce? Considering how Arsenal have been playing too, they obviously just drew to Brentford and
You know,
they
it's
didn't
funny.
play well.
You know, it's funny because obviously on Osaka City, obviously they go to flawless
They got to
all the
flawless.
time. We've been obviously we've been pissing off Don C like the whole time, and we've been saying how me and Flawless we've been getting at him and saying like stuff like, "Yo, how we gonna go out there? I'm gonna make sure like don't just make sure you get the 3 points and all that because now saying Big T like I call him to the Big T. You know what I'm saying
Big T.
yeah, Big T man like to do. You know what I'm saying it's how they say today is to do is to there to do, but like come on, man.
That's a good one. Nice,
Nah,
Jess. There
nah.
to do.
Like, come on, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and for him, the best way for him to get the fans on board immediately is if he can get a result against Arsenal. Because I think that would boost us going forward for at least our home games and actually make us
I
feel
think
like, you know what,
I think they'll be behind
home
him.
games.
I think the fans. One
I'll
thing
be
that I
up
did
for it.
notice, like even though it felt like that game was really toxic and everything, the game that I went to,
Yeah.
I still heard a lot of like passionate fans, like a lot of fans who were the entire game voicing their opinion and just were wanting them to just play better, bro. That's really it. And
Now,
like
this is the thing, like,
go on.
this is what I would say, like, I wouldn't say, like, I personally believe we have some of the worst fun atmosphere in the Premier League personally, and it's ever been like this since we moved to the new stadium.
Yeah.
But I still think that our fans, like, we're not even asking for much. Just put a decent product out there and have a team out there trying. If you lose or draw, it's fine. But our fans are not gonna boo. Our fans are not gonna moan if you at least try. The issue was Frank was playing football not to lose games, and if you come with that type of mindset, more times than not, you're gonna lose games. You're gonna draw games, and it's not gonna get the fans behind it.
Yeah,
exactly. So that was a big issue with him. So Tudor, and which again we talked about him already. He's known for being a bit more aggressive. He's been more known for trying to be more front-footed. He plays the back three, but at times actually he tries to play actually a high line with the back 3. So, but I mean, considering with our centre back options, I don't think he can necessarily do the back 3 thing. Like we might have to promote some youngsters at this point.
What would real quick to this question? Would you have picked him as your interim? Like, are you okay with it? Or I guess that's a question. Yeah.
If you would have gave me a list of managers, if you would have given me the list of free agent managers to pick one, and asked me pick one of the managers, I would have probably said Tudor. I wouldn't say he probably was my first option, but again, I don't have the list in front of me, so I couldn't have told you if he would have been my first option. But he definitely would have been up there. Like you see guys like Javi or Marco Rose or Eden Terzic. Nah, these are just not the managers that we need right now, to be honest.
Yeah. So you think he would play the back 3 at Spurs right now? What would your lineup be? Who would you like say this is the Arsenal game?
This is the problem because it's actually the state of the team right now is so bad. I think our wing backs for this game gotta be Spence and RG Gray. We don't have any wingers. We don't even have both Paul and Adoki are all injured as well. Actually, I play our youngster that we bought from Brazil. Souza is his name. I don't rate him. I think he's kind of meaty, to be honest, from what I saw. But his first game he did play well before Frank got sucked there. But so I would say Souza left wing back, RG Gray right wing back. I actually I played Spence right wing back and Souza left wing back. No, the back three, it gotta be Dragusin, Van der Ven, and one of our academy centre backs in Byfield.
Is Paulinho not there? No.
So who?
Paulinho? Or is he injured?
Paulinho is fit, but I wouldn't put him in. I wouldn't put him in the back 3 because I do think Tudor prioritizes players who are good on the ball.
You're doing a 3-4-3, 3-4-3,
3-4-3. Yeah, so I'll double. So pretty much like not. I don't think his formation were the double tens. Unlike with Cameron. I think he plays with like 5 players. But I think at this point he might have to do the double tens. We literally have no winger left. Also, tells our only available fit first team wingers, so we might have to do the double 10. So so I go back 3. I go Van der Ven, Ferguson, and Byfield, our academy centre back. Goalkeeper, I go Vicario. Actually, not Teller. I go Kinski. Vicario's just been an absolute disaster this season.
Yeah, he's been a nightmare this season.
He's been a nightmare. I mean, shout out to him. He was the reason why Frank got sucked too. But after Frank got sucked, I can't do this no more, Vicario. I can't even lie to you.
Like Chad, I was mentioning earlier, like how Spurs fans were booing Vicario. Like they were rightfully booing him. Like he was terrible. He gave away a goal in that game.
Bro, it feels at this point every time, and I don't necessarily blame him 100% because I feel like Frank indirectly was playing parts of it. Like I always say this with Frank, he would make us defend everybody in the box, so it would always block like his view most of the time. Sometimes some boneheaded mistakes where you can't even blame the manager. But again, a lot of the pressure came from the manager. But let me go back to the lineup though. Double pivot. Jesus Christ, double pivot. You know what? I go with Sa. I go with Sa.
You can play Gallagher.
I go with Sa and Gallagher. I go with Sa and
Yeah.
Gallagher. I was trying to think if I go with Palhinha because these are the type of games Palhinha is supposed to be eating, innit? So
Yeah.
I think about the Palhinha or Gallagher one. Either one of them starts, and then Sa I would play. Then in the 10th, I go with Javi and I go with another academy kid in Lucas William Bond, who is a winger outright but can't play in the 10. And then striker, I would go with Solanke, but I think he's gonna go with Kolomwani because he was the one who got the best out of Wani when he went out on loan to Juventus. So yeah, so that's what that would be my lineup. I would say.
Okay, interesting. Okay, fair enough. I guess I think he kind of just like answered it, but the latter question though, does this formation and system suit the current players that you have? If you
With
think
the
so.
current players, I say we have yes.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it suits them, but I wouldn't say it's the best. I don't think it's like the problem is I don't necessarily know what system specifically fits 100% of the players because Frank built such a bad team. Like he
Yeah.
built a team that is more properly suited for running than playing football. Like it's actually bad. So for me, low key, the back three, trying to just be a team that just is front footed and trying to win the ball high up the pitch. Like again, you have Paulinho out there who can win the ball. You have Sal out there who can win the ball. You have what's his name? Gallagher who can win the ball. You have guys like Spence and Sosa who defensively are solid. You have guys like Moani and Solanke who will run around up top. Javi is not a bad presser either. And I can't tell you about the academy kids to be honest. Again, academy kids, but with the current situation, you have to deal with what you have to do. So it is what it is. So yeah, I would say the three back formation at the moment in the system that he plays, I think it fits the players, but I wouldn't say it's the best system because these players just there's just such a misfit to be honest. It's such a misfit of a team that this club has built. And to be honest, I blame the club again for this. Like if you ask me personally, our current situation, I only blame 5% of the players if you ask me personally, and I think a lot of people will think I'd be crazy looking at this because a lot of people, including rival fans and our fans, do not rate our players. But again, who was the one who built the team? It wasn't them who built the team. So
true. That is very much true. Yeah, I feel like I learned a lot, to be honest, from you, Jess. Appreciate you every single time for your insight about everything. You're welcome to stay on the show, of course, if you want to, unless you have to leave.
I don't mind. I'm just chilling anyway.
Yeah, totally up to you. Like if you need to leave for whatever reason, you're welcome to leave, but you're also welcome to stay on the show every single time. But appreciate that. Spoobs, we'll go back to United real quick because I already discussed and talked about United, but we'll get your thoughts more so about it. Obviously, we had the results against West Ham, couldn't get the 5 in a row. Our winning streak does come to an end, but we are still currently unbeaten. There's been a lot of mixed talk about this specific result. There's been one side of things where fans are a little bit frustrated, upset because it's a West Ham team that was currently also kind of like in a relegation battle. They're currently sitting very, very low in the table. They've had okayish results and performances in the past couple of weeks, specifically the one against Chelsea when they played them at the Bridge. But other than that, like they got a draw they got a draw in the reverse fixture, which I don't know if people knew this. I was actually at that game as well too, and it pisses me off because that was a draw as well. But they got a draw in that game as well, and that also finished 1-1. What's your thoughts on it in terms of the results? Obviously, it is one setback. I've been saying this for a while. I felt like we were going to face some sort of adversity for sure in some sort of game. I don't think our players, even though they've been playing very well and they've been in great form, I think like at one point of time that was going to be halted a little bit, and I think that was in this game. I think this game specifically went down to our front four. Our front four weren't good enough. We didn't create well enough throughout the entire game. Towards the end, when Carrick made some of the substitutions, obviously it was positive. Sesko being one of the substitutions, getting the goals. Xerxes also had that one header, which was really, really close to goal as well. possibly could have scored. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the game and just the result itself?
I think I was on here and I was saying like I'm worried about the West Ham game. I was on Monbros, and I was on Don C's channel. Like what I seen against Fulham the week before, I thought that we were going to get like we had a little bit of problems against Fulham. Obviously we scored 3, but there was at times we just can't break teams down, and we struggle, and it just happened even more in this game. At times, just too lethargic, too slow, and yeah, as you said, the attackers just weren't up for it. It was a good finish by Sesko. It was the way he finished that, but again, I don't know if it's a midfield thing. Listen, Casemiro's been great since Michael Carrick's came back, and now we've got Manu as well. But I just think, look, Shaw, to me, this guy steals a living, in my opinion. I don't think he's that good. He struggled against Fulham, he struggled against West Ham, and against City and Arsenal, he was all right. But there was like 2 games that he struggled in, and I don't. He's just we need to get rid of him. That's definitely an area we can improve on. We can definitely get Casemiro again. Like Casemiro is great, but just in general play, I just need a bit more legs, a bit more energy in that midfield against someone beside Manu. I just want someone a wee bit more. Like Casemiro is good at popping up with goals. Like he'll get you a goal, no problem. But I need a bit more run, just a bit more legs. It's too easy at points when they get into our midfield. And it just happens. What happens is you get like a midfielder that can actually run a wee bit, and then we just have to drop back and drop back and drop back because we just can't. We can't get the ball off them. And yeah, but again, like you said, attackers just too lethargic, too slow at points. And this was my worry: is teams that will sit back against us and hold their shape, and make it hard. That's where we're going to struggle. Because again, like Fulham. Like the West Ham game, like a team that sit backs against you and keeps their shape and makes everything fucking difficult to get anything out of them. I think we're going to struggle. I don't know
they kept a well defensive shape throughout the game. That's really what it was. It was tough for us to break them down. We weren't really able at all to break them down. Not until pretty much the end of the game when we had those couple of chances, but that's about it. Defensively, we were fine until Luke Shaw made that mistake, and then even after that, we were still okay. Like they didn't really create too much, but we just didn't do well enough going like forward. That's really it. We didn't create well enough. Ahmad was not good. Cunha was not good. Cunha was really, really bad, honestly.
Yeah, attackers weren't good either.
They weren't good. Like Bruno was not good. And Mbeumo obviously like he got the assist, which kind of cuts him a little bit of slack. But bar the assist, he wasn't good either. He was non-existent at times. That's the thing, though, is that we weren't able to break lines. We weren't able to sometimes in some of these games in these past 4 results where we've won, specifically in that Arsenal and City game, there were times where we were just moving the ball really well, fluid, right? But it's like in this game, we weren't able to get that going at all. If that's credit to West Ham and how they set up defensively, I don't know how they were setting up in the previous games. They conceded 3 against Chelsea, and I don't know their other results, but in this game specifically, they did. And they went up through a mistake, which was the only really thing that they created. Those last couple of chances that Euro saved us from, I guess I'm not really personally counting those just because we had all our players forward because we were chasing a goal. And I felt like that was going to happen. Like when they were going to get a couple of chances like that anyways. Euro did well though. And Lamens also, I think, had maybe one of those saves, which was, I think, offside or something. But yeah, like that. Other than that and the goal, there wasn't really much for West Ham in the game. Yeah. In my opinion.
And that's where I'm kind of I hear a lot of criticism. Like I'm playing like Cunha or Mbeumo up top against these sort of teams.
I think it was an off day. I think for our front 4, it was just an off day. That's really what it was. I think it was just an off day.
I just think you need a player like Sesko sometimes when you're playing these sort of teams that will sit back and hold their shape, and then if you're starting Cunha or you're starting Mbeumo up top, it kind of limits your, like, I'm not saying they're not good, but I just mean if you need to get the ball into the box, like cross it, like who do you want there?
Would you play him against Everton, Sesko? Would you start him?
I think he deserves it after that finish. I'd start him. I think you should drop either Cunha and Embuemo. I don't know who you would, because Cunha's been coming on as a sub, by the way, for like the majority of the games.
I'd drop Ahmad. That's what I would.
You think?
Just for this game, I'd bring him on. Bring him on.
To be fair, I mean, Tesco would fit the game like if it's in considering the centre back that you're gonna go up against. You want to have an aerial presence out there just to compete. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's it. Just like if I'm thinking about getting like a player, like, because I think in our games as well, sometimes we don't just cross the fucking ball. Like sometimes, like when I watch us and we're not getting the fucking ball into the box, are they doing that on purpose, or are they doing it because the player that's there, like they've got a Cunha or an Embuemo? Embuemo's decent in the air, but when I want when I think of Sesko in the air, he's going to win it over defenders. He's going to win it over other players. I think it's like, I'm not mad at dropping Diallo. I actually didn't think Diallo played that bad, but I would drop Cunha in my opinion. But that's not because he's bad or he Cunha. Like, it's just I think when you go against a team like that, and then even if you want to bring Cunha back on at a later time, as we have been doing against City, against Arsenal,
Arsenal,
but no, I just think a bit more presence up top. Just because you think like it also opens up space for other players. If you have a guy like Sesko, you've got defenders that are worried about marking him, worried about him in there when you cross it into the box. Kind of opens up things a bit. So
he scored a very, very
it was a good finish.
Tough goal as well. But yeah, I hear it. I'm with you on that. I think it wouldn't be bad to change things up after a draw. I mean, of course, right? Like they were winning games on a 4-game winning streak, and the lineup pretty much stayed the same. Justified because they've been winning games. So I think even after a halt, you could even argue that some of them should probably still start based on this run of games. I think it's okay that if we do change things up. But I'm still like confident going into that game. Like, I'm still expecting a good performance from us. Just like how it was against West Ham as well. And we didn't play well, but I still have belief in like these players now, away from that manager for sure, away from the previous guy for sure. So we'll see. Jazz, what do you think? You watched the game this weekend? I don't know if you did, if you caught it or not.
I was a bit busy, but I did catch up with the highlights and so I can't tell you really in depth my thoughts, but I can tell you just like how. And I slightly touched on it, I think, on previous games before. I feel like you got to consider that not Everton, West Ham did came in with form, and I'll be honest, like, this was one of the games that I was looking at because I was saying, like, literally in the chat, I need United to win this because they're close to us in this relegation battle. So I was paying attention. So when Sesko scored, I can't lie, I was gassed, man. I think I was more gassed than any Spurs goal this season, to be honest. I was more gassed than any Spurs goal, honestly. But yeah, jokes aside though. I think it's just one of them days where like you go up against a team that is tricky. I actually heard, I don't think United got that good of a record at the London Stadium, if I'm mistaken.
We don't. In recent times, we don't. Yeah, this is the game that got Ten Hag sacked. So we've lost against them in previous seasons. Like, we definitely have.
Yeah, so it's like, I feel like when you put these things into consideration and the fact that you wasn't necessarily bad in the game, but you just didn't have the, like, sometimes you just need the edge, and like when you don't have the edge, you kind of break on these type of teams. Considering as well, West Ham's just confident. Like, even West Ham, they should have won. Like, I know they lost the game against Chelsea, but they should have won the game really and truly. I think it's more down to Nuno's cowardly coaching at the end, trying to put all these defenders on the pitch and trying to defend as deep as possible. But I think for this time, I think he learned his certain mistakes. Still got punished for it, but at least he left with a point in it. So I would say just Barbe in the office for the attack, considering how well they played for the last few games. You could sit here and say you can allow it, I would say. I think the biggest issue I would say with, like, and this was the only reason why I didn't comment on it is because I don't want to come off as a hater in it, because if I say this, it kind of comes out of it for me, because I give credit a lot. I give Carrick a lot of credit in terms of how he started, but I feel like we shouldn't also underestimate the impact of being sometimes the underdog. And so, like considering there's 2 games that you start, you consider the underdog, and now you're going up against the teams where you consider the favorite.
Expected to win.
You
We're not the
expected to win.
underdog
You
no
expected
more.
to
Yeah,
perform.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly. So I feel like now you kind of sometimes you have to adjust in terms of how you want to approach certain games. Who do you start? Like against City and Arsenal, it's fine if you start in Bremer as a striker, but if you're gonna go up against a West Ham and Everton, can you really play with Bremer up top? Not really, because they're gonna be sitting saying, "No, you can have the ball, and the Bremer can go and fight with Max Kilman or the Todibos or the Jack what's it called? Or O'Brien, Tukowski and stuff like that. Like Bremer's good in the air, but he's not gonna outbeat them old muscle.
Yeah, he's not gonna out. Yeah, he's not.
So this is where I was saying, okay, let me see what you're about, innit? Let me as Carrick as the manager, and like I said, the already has done a fantastic job so far, and he's only the injured in the end of the day. That's why I was kind of thinking to myself, give Carrick credit, but also like kind of calm down. I already see people say if they don't get their top 2 options, Carrick should get the manager job, and I'm kind of feeling it's a bit reactionary, but I kind of get it because look who the last manager was. It was fucking dreadful, innit? So
starved.
Starving, literally.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Luke Shaw for the goal. I do say Luke Shaw for the goal. Yeah, that shit was criminal. I can't even lie.
Yeah, that was criminal.
Yeah,
That's the basic defending. You just you can't let the ball bounce there, bro. And he's just like, come on, man. How long have you been playing? How many times have you been in situations like this too? And you should just know better. But yeah, we moved though. We'll quickly talk about the other 2 clubs as well. Obviously, they both had FA Cup games this weekend. Both of them won their FA Cup games this weekend. Arsenal winning 4-0 against Wigan. Chelsea winning against Hull City. I can't remember what the scoreline for that was. Was that 4-0 as well? I think it was
4-0, wasn't it?
Yeah, with Neto scoring a hat trick in that game. I didn't really watch I was watching a little bit of the Chelsea game, but once they went like 2-0 up, I think I just turned it off. Same thing for Arsenal when they went 1-0 up. And they went 1-0 up early. I turned that game off too because it's like, there's no point. I probably shouldn't have even watched them. But in terms of their Premier League games, there's a little bit to discuss. Arsenal obviously getting a draw against Brentford. Chelsea also getting a draw against Leeds. Chelsea bottling a 2-goal lead at home at Stamford Bridge. A couple questionable referee decisions that people could argue in that game specifically, but I don't really think it was anything major. Brentford's game was funny. Eze had a stinker and hooked at halftime. The rest of the players, Madueke, to be fair, he did score a good goal. I will give him credit for that. He actually did score a good goal. But the rest of the team, the rest of the guys, the same thing. Everybody else, the same thing. And they looked shaky. And they honestly should have lost. Brentford did create enough chances to go on and win that game. Igor Thiago, I'm so close to calling you a fraud because you score all these goals against all these other teams. But you had clear-cut chances against Arsenal and you couldn't bag a single one. But yeah, anyways, that game definitely does feel like a loss for them. The title race, the points do get cut down to 4 now, so they only have a 4-point lead against City. Prime says he's going to be here on 10 minutes. Prime was one who was saying that the league was over. He was congratulating Don C. In previous episodes, and I told him, I said it's not over. It's definitely not over. Because you're and it was I was really shocked as well, because Prime is one who's been talking about this this bottling gene of Arsenal every single season, and he likes to bring it up a lot of the times, and he's one who went away from it and one who went against it. Aren't roughly half of Thiago's goals pens? I don't know if they are. I didn't think so.
He does score a lot of penalties, but
he does score a lot of pens, but I don't know if half of them are pens.
I don't think half of them, but even then, regardless of that, you still gotta go and score them in the end of the day.
Yeah. End of the day. But yeah, still pens, whatever. But those chances that he had against Arsenal in that game, he should have bagged at least one. He had a couple of really good chances.
100%.
Yeah, you can elaborate more when you're on. I'm just saying today, this game is an example of why I still think the league is just not over yet. It's still very much over.
I think at least I don't know Pines fault because I remember I was saying, and this wasn't necessarily after Arsenal played. This was during the City Liverpool game because I put it in the group chat and then like I said, when Liverpool scored, I said, yeah, this league is over because up until that point, City was so bad in that game where I generally didn't think they were gonna come back until Liverpool decided to say, hold my beer and we're just gonna go and bottle it. But I think the biggest issue is more City than Arsenal, to be honest. I think City can go and catch Arsenal if they're really about their life. But I don't know. Like, I can definitely.
I'm not convinced by City either. Yeah, I'm not convinced.
My issue is they're just gonna go and chop points. Like the old City, they're gonna go on a run to the end of the season. They're just gonna go and grind it out. This City, they're gonna chop points somewhere. Like that Spurs City game, I couldn't believe it. They hooped that ball. They was dominating us so badly in the first half, and I couldn't believe how much they lost control in the second half to the point where you can argue we should have left the game with 3 points.
Yeah, I hear
it
you.
Was that hard.
I hear this on City, and like we've literally in previous weeks seen this so many times where like City will win, Arsenal will drop points, they'll get a little closer. Arsenal will win, City will drop points, the gap will increase yet again. It just happens like it's been happening for a while. One thing that why I think, even though City aren't like convincing enough to maybe catch them or not, I also part of me still thinks Arsenal aren't entirely convincing either because they should be far gone with this league, bro. They should be at like at least like 10 points clear right now, at least. Even more than even with them losing games, they should still be like 10 points clear.
In my opinion, if you ask me, in my opinion, like I think the league should have been at the state that like it was last season, but we all knew Liverpool already pretty much won the league.
By January, they're done. Liverpool gonna win the league. It's over.
Like, I think this what this situation should have been.
Yeah.
But obviously, the Arsenal team isn't that great at all, and I don't. Me personally, again, some people will say it's coming from a place of hate. It's really not a hate. I generally believe this is the worst. For me, this is the worst. This is the worst title winner, if Arsenal win it, that I've ever seen in my life. Personally, in the Premier League at least. In the Premier League, I've seen worse title winners before, but in other leagues. But in the Premier League, this is the worst. And because I said this already, 2022-23 Arsenal would have blitzed this league already so badly.
Yeah, bro, this before too. Like I think this is more so about like a point about the league, but like Leicester could win this league. That Leicester team could probably win this league.
100%, because they were not consistent throughout the whole season. People obviously weren't just believing that they could do it to the end, but they proved everybody wrong and they were not consistent to the end. But this Arsenal team, it's just not impressive at all. But again, I'm not gonna say again, if you're gonna win the league, if you're gonna win ugly, hey, they're gonna win ugly, but win a trophy and they win the league at the end of the day. So I'm not saying Arsenal fans should care how they win the league title. This is again just my opinion, but this is also but it also says more about City. The fact that we can sit here and say this about Arsenal, yet you still haven't taken advantage of it. This is where the question mark comes. Like in my opinion, this has nothing to do with Arsenal. In my eyes, it's more about does City actually want to go on a run and trying to push them to the end, or do they just want to let Arsenal just have it in it?
Yeah, no, 100%. We'll see though. Heating up, 4 points now. They obviously play Spurs. I don't know who City play. Let's see who City play.
Hey, let me look as well.
City.
City are playing Newcastle. They're playing Newcastle.
Newcastle at home.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think it's gonna be a win. They dominated them badly.
And Newcastle are not good. Not good away from home.
Bruno G is out injured as well.
He's out too. Yeah, he's out too. I think they should get a win. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I just think it's not over yet. I definitely just think it's not over yet. I still think it can get closer. Maybe it could even get closer, and Arsenal still eventually end up winning it. It's still very possible. But I just think it's like it's not confirmed that they're gonna win the league because
when you put it like 4 points in 12 matches, like that's nothing. But it is, you guys are right. Like it's like our Man City actually going to start being consistent. When I watched him, like I'm not convinced yet.
They've strengthened this January. Obviously, they've made signings. They've got Semenyo in the team. He's been in good form. He's been scoring goals in most of the games that he's been playing for them so far, whether they be losses or whether they're wins. They also just got Mark Guehi as well. So like they've made it clear that they're gonna try to chase them for sure. Like they're gonna try to obviously be on that thing where we're gonna try to turn up the Jets, and we are like fully in this. And they probably believe right now they can catch Arsenal. They've done it before. They've been doing it these past years, so they probably think that they can. So we'll see. We'll see.
And I kind of said that about Dawn. Like when I watched Dawn after that, big up Joe. When I watched Dawn after on Sarcom City, I was surprised that he wasn't crashing out, that much. He was calm. He was kind of like calm about it. So am I thinking? Is he thinking that well, City are dropping points and City are still not consistent, so I'm not worrying that much. But if I was, man, like, come on, you have to beat that. Get 3 points at that game. I mean, if you're really going for it, if you want to cement your place, but it's gonna be tough. I don't know now. I really don't. I thought Arsenal, like Prime, I thought Arsenal were going to win the league. I did. But like when you look at the math, when you look at the game, I mean, in a couple of months, that Etihad game against Arsenal, I mean, that's gonna be crazy. This could be crazy. But yeah. Both teams are dropping points. That's why I can't be like, oh, City are going to come back. City are definitely going to come back. But then you can't say Arsenal are definitely going to win it. So it's up in there.
You still have to wait for time to go by to get a little closer towards the end of the league, end of the season. So we'll see. Arsenal's still not built for the moment. You could say that too. There's been a lot of moments where they could just a lot of the times for some of their players as well, and like. I could talk about Odegaard in that game specifically. All right, Eze's been hooked at halftime. We have whatever we say about Eze. Cool, right? It's not work. Let it all work out, all that shit, right? Agendas, whatever. But for Odegaard, though, you're a captain of this team. You're coming on at halftime, and you should probably take this game by like the scruff of the neck and be like, yeah, I'm gonna pull our team to for the win and like just drag our team to the win. Not solely, but at least play a part in it. And you did nothing. Like again, you did nothing. And often time there's players who do nothing. Like Saka when he came on did nothing. Like Gyökeres did nothing. A lot of these players, like genuinely, like some of them don't step up for that occasion. And it's not always going to be Gabriel all the time too. Like Gabriel, give him credit in some big games he has stepped up and he has, scored big goals at times in previous seasons or whatever for them. But it's not always going to be Gabriel who's going to step up and like what about the guys who were bought this season, to make a difference as well? Like, there's no excuses for these guys, man. And I'm waiting until the end of the season because if they don't win this league, if they really don't win this league, bro, this season, like they're man. If they don't win this league this season, bro,
I'm personally calling them the worst second place of all time. Like,
Jess said they'll be the worst title winners and they'll be the worst second place of all time.
Because it's actually crazy.
I love it
because they wasted 2 generational defensive seasons last season and this season just not to win the league because they don't have the Spooby of how to attack going forward. This is why I blame the players and I blame the manager because at the end of the day, and I always say the team on the field reflects the manager's ideas and ideologies and everything like that. And the fact that they struggle to attack that bad, considering that they got quote unquote the better players in this league, it's crazy if you ask me personally. So they can't lose. For me, they can't lose the league.
Yeah, can I ask you guys about Eze? Because I have been on like the past weeks criticizing Eze, also criticizing Odegaard. But I actually I do think Eze is a good footballer. Is it a system thing, Jez and Shik, or is it what he's been asked to do, or do you understand what I mean? Like I don't think before Eze joined Arsenal, people were criticized. Eze was. If you asked most people, they would say, "Oh, Eze's a great footballer." And then when
I
he
think it's like
joined
a mix
Arsenal,
of. I think it's like a mix of like a lot of things. I think it's like I also do think he's a good footballer, but bro, he's not been well though. Like he's not been even at times where he's gotten opportunities, and you could even argue that maybe he hasn't played all the games, and there were times where he was dropped quite a lot. Pretty much when Odegaard came back, he started getting dropped. But I think it's a mix of a lot of things. I think it's also how Arteta doesn't play him all the time. After that
or different positions,
game,
sometimes he's out.
different positions. I think it's like
Yeah.
I think also himself a little bit when he does play, he doesn't play the best. Like in terms of his own ability this season. I think it's a mix of like all those things. It's crazy to say that Havertz right now currently suits them over Eze. Havertz right now would be better
100%, 100%. Like
than
he's
Eze.
probably he even suits them more than Gilchrist as well.
Yeah,
Like
it's like he suits them a lot more currently, and that's crazy to say because like these again, it goes back to that conversation because these signings, whoever it was, whether it was Eze, it could be anybody, these signings were supposed to. I was told that they're going to be the difference makers, like they're going to be like they're going to elevate your team to win the league, and we're now
yes.
speaking about two of them, Gyökeres and Eze, who've just not been good. They've not.
And then you see like Jesus come back and Jesus actually looking good now, and then it's like, yeah, it's crazy.
I mean,
big up Prime.
Big up Prime.
What do you think, Jez?
Prime still know this, Mark. Yeah. I mean, if you know me, you know I've been going constantly on S's case. I've been all season long, and you should have expected him. And you did what you did in the summer. They introduced you like your Neymar and some shit. Just with the whole stadium entrance and shit, like the new to your only good game in the Premier League is probably the Tottenham game, ironically. But being taking the bias aside here, I do agree with Cheek. There's a lot of things that go into the situation why he hasn't been living up to the expectation. But I think a big issue as well is, and this is just how I feel like he's not. How do I say? He's not this player that you watch for 90 minutes every single game that you see him for Palace and think to yourself, you know what? He's actually playing really well for the whole 90 minutes.
Yeah,
like he will have a span in games where he would just play really well, and then for the rest of the game, he keeps it to a certain level. I think he's just, and Donsey is speaking about it. I agree with him in that aspect. He's a moments player. Like he's not like KDB where you get the game. He's not KDB.
Yeah,
like,
he's not a dictator.
He's not.
He doesn't pull strings. Like he doesn't. He's not that type of player.
No, he's just like, I'm here to go and just make things happen because this is what the Crystal Palace relied on. You have a team, we all be compact, we are all a unit, but we need the difference maker to just be the difference maker, so we're giving them more freedom. But I feel like with Arsenal, of course there's so many different levels of players in the team now. You're being asked to be a difference maker, but you're not in this difference maker kind of situation where like he was in Palace. Like for example, Cunha and Wolves is probably the prime example. If anything good came from Wolves, it came from Cunha. It felt like this is the same thing how it felt with Palace, but with Arsenal, you got so many options to look at where his role is kind of diminished. It's like in the NBA, and you would know, Sheik. You have your role players, but you also got your star players, you know. And I look at
it's super important too. It's like very important what their roles are and them executing their roles too. Yeah,
exactly. Like I look at, for example, I look at as a I wouldn't say necessarily to the same level player. Like I look at as like a Caruso at the Bulls, where he was considered one of the better players, but gets traded to OKC Caruso, and now you're part of the team. Your roles getting diminished, you get less minutes, but your impact to the team is still important. But with Essa, I feel like he's the type of player who thrives in a situation where you are considered one of the main man. You get in the free role, you getting to do what you want to do. But with Arsenal, you're getting told what you have to do, and I think this what indirectly affects him. So, and this is something to adjust to. This is something that he has to adjust to. I think that's the reality when it comes to somebody like an Eza. If I take my bias aside, if the don't take my advice aside. I think he's the worst player personally. Championship this level should go back to QPR personally, but that's just me though.
Fucking hell.
Prime, what are you saying? Big up to you, Prime.
Yeah, bro.
Yo,
Yo,
this thing about rating Eze and whatever. What I say about Eze is the same thing I said about Grealish when he was at Villa and everyone raved about him. He's not the player that you guys think that he is. It's all well and good when you're doing it at like I guess a lesser club or like a lesser standard, but going to one of the big boys when there's constant pressure on you, everyone watches you week on week, so you can't hide when you have a bad game, where you're going to be facing constant low blocks and there's constant pressure, where even a win is still not good enough if the performance doesn't match. Eze is just not that guy. And fine, people can also make the excuses of Arteta and the system and stuff, but you've played in this league. You're meant to be one of the best 10s in this league. There's big expectation on you. You've failed to deliver. This guy's been awful. Extremely, extremely awful. And there's no excuses where you could maybe try and make some sort of excuses for Gyökeres, even though I don't hear those excuses. With Eze, there should be none. You've come from this league. You're Prem proven. You're meant to be one of the best players in this league. Why do you not look like it? And I've been trying to speak on this for months because everyone talks about why Gyökeres can't score goals. Arsenal, they bought a top striker and a top creator. So if Gyökeres can't score, can we not also look at the creator for him? Because Eze's play, like, it's not as if Eze hasn't got chances to play in the team. He was playing in the team, and he was doing well for a very short period, and then that stopped. So, where's the excuses there?
Can I play this is just me playing devil's advocate, which is super ironic coming from me and considering what I've been saying.
Prime.
Not really.
Sorry to interrupt you. Sorry. Prime, keep it a bug. Just say Madueke has been a better signing than Eze. Just be straight up. Just say how it is. Say Madueke has been a better signing than Eze.
Technically,
get straight to the facts now. You know, we're being too kind.
Technically, he's probably he's been the best attacker this season personally.
He has. He's been a attacker, better signing. He's been a better signing. Like Mikel, that's Arteta's signing too, by the way.
Yes.
He got that done before Gyökeres. That's how much he wanted Madueke.
See, but this is what I'm saying. This is just me playing the devil's advocate in it because I'm sly enough, and also it's super ironic coming from me. So this whole like I'm trying to be.
You want to she can do it.
Yeah,
you want to advocate for the devil.
Yeah, come on, bro. You already know. But now, anyway, I'm a Christian, man. I don't indulge with that. But but see, because I 100% agree with you. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and disagree with you anything what you say. I think the only thing that we can include to the conversation is that you got the least of the excuses considering the talent that you are supposed to be, and also that you came from the same league. But if let's say it was Arteta who pushed for the signing and wanted him in the team, shouldn't he have known like what Eze is as a player as well, in your opinion?
Or are you asking me this?
Yeah, asking you the question. Yeah.
I don't think Arteta was the one that pushed for Eze.
So you think it's like a belter thing more than anything?
I think the signings Arsenal made in the summer, it's clear to see which ones are Arteta signings and which ones are from Berta and the club. Gyökeres,
how do you tell?
Profile striker. Eze, why would it make sense for Arteta to want to sign a number 10 when he's not going to drop Odegaard, who's his captain, and he has Havertz, who Arteta vouched to sign, you can also play in the 10. That doesn't make sense to sign.
No, that's fair enough. Because like I said, because I think for me, the only way where you can maybe make reasonable excuses is if the manager pushed for Eze. If he wasn't the one who pushed for him, but he was recommended to the manager, and of course you're not going to say no to Eze at the time because he's a proven Premier League player. he added quality just from a squad depth perspective. So of course you're not gonna say no. But if he wasn't the one who pushed for it, then of course 100%. Then it's more on Berta, it's more on S, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I say like I was only playing
I
the
don't
devil's
like
advocate.
shouldn't be performing this bad. I'm not saying he should be like amazing and world class because again,
More close, yeah.
like, the manager didn't even really want to sign you, so he's not going to play you in the best way to get the best out of you. I understand that.
Yeah.
But you've been awful. Honestly, been awful.
Bro, you can argue like you can. That is, I think he's been the worst. I think he's been the worst 10 in the league this season.
Bro, when you look at Vert, and yes, I know Vert's cost a lot more money and stuff like that. Cool, but Vert's awful for the first half season. But in the last couple of months, he's actually started to perform and turn it around. Eze is not performing.
Yes.
Even with Wirtz, like the GNO thing, you've seen glimpses from Wirtz. You've seen like a little bit. If you watch Liverpool games, you've seen something.
But with Eze, the only thing I've seen is a hat trick against Spurs, and I said that at the time when he got the hat trick. I said it on here. He didn't really play well.
I said this. I said that's his Madueke moment. That's like when Madueke scored the hat trick against Wolves last season. That's
he just got a hat trick. He wasn't a. But again, because it's a rivalry and stuff like that. I don't. When you win big games like that, I'm not gonna knock the performance, celebrate doing how you want. It's fine. But when you really look at it, he didn't do anything brilliant. He scored a hat trick against a poor Spurs side. Chelsea did the week before. We battered Spurs. João Pedro should have got a hat trick as well.
Exactly. That was my thing about the hat trick, and of course, now like you said, because there was so much that added to the fuel. That's why it was overcast. But when you really look at it, it wasn't amazing. But I've seen worse teams do the same thing that Arsenal did to us.
Bro, Jackson got a hat trick against Spurs, and he got slated for it as well. Like great, it's a North London derby, you got a hat trick. So why can't you kick on from there? A few weeks ago, the Man United game, Man United won 3-2. They were you guys were 2-1 down? No?
No,
you guys went 2-0 up. You got 2-1, you were 2-1, and then it was 2-2. So Arsenal equalized. Cunha off the bench. That moment of magic from Cunha, why can't we expect that from Eze? Is that not what he was signed to do? Moments of brilliance.
No, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah,
like, this is what he was. Because he was supposed to be this out of because he was supposed to be this out of character player that it's not necessarily like an Arteta player. Like Arteta players, they're all disciplined, they're all play
he's
the
meant
game.
To be the Maverick. And Cunha, first half of the season for United, awful. But since that game, since that Arsenal game, he started to actually kick on and perform. Why are we not seeing that from Eze?
Yeah, I get what you're trying to say. Like, what's the excuses? Like, why are we making so many excuses for?
Everyone gets onto Odegaard for him not performing. Fine, but if we all agree that Eze is better than him, and people are saying he's supposed to displace him in the team. Well, he hasn't been performing to it. So you're not even giving Arteta the potential dilemma of saying, "Listen, Odegaard's my boy, he's my captain, but Eze's performing too sick right now."
So well.
You're not giving him the dilemma of doing that.
Yeah.
So
it's just, bro, we gotta keep the standards for every single player. He's got a big move. He's under the bright lights. He's gonna be playing these big games. He's in the Champions League, all these things. And he won a trophy this past summer too. So it's like, why shouldn't we put him at a high pedestal? Why? And he was bought for like a decent amount of money as well, not cheap. So it's like, why shouldn't we put him at a high pedestal?
When he's
running this like Arsenal,
I've been pushing this agenda, and Don'tsy gets mad at me when I say this because he thinks I'm trolling, when I'm generally being serious when I say I think Simmons has been better than Eze comfortably. He started off terrifically. Yeah, I think he started off terrifically at Spurs, but since January, when you actually watch just his performances alone, you can even argue that if it wasn't for his performances, how we couldn't even get probably some of the little points that we even gotten, or even string on the top. Like when you actually just watch his performances, just where But I can even you can leave a game with all the goal and assist, and you can generally see how much you actually impacted the game. The reason just why we're not winning is because you're literally the only player who's literally performing on the pitch, including defense, goalkeeper, attackers, midfielders. So, and that's why I was saying to him, I watched the games with my eyes. You have all these players for Arsenal playing around you, playing well, but you struggling to play well than on top. Like you all, when I see S on the pitch, you always look below par to everybody else. Even let's say even the worst player that you rate, like Gyökeres, for example, or the Madueke, they comfortably perform better than you out there, and this says something.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I think he's been the worst 10 in the league. I think he's been definitely up there as one of the worst signings in the league. Definitely, you can even argue the worst signing considering expectation.
I think he is. I think he is the worst signing, genuinely. Because even
the
though
worst
Verts
signing.
is there, even though
Yeah.
Verts is I get it, Verts is there, Isak is there, I get it, these players are there, but they've still to a certain extent started picking up form. All of them, you could argue, started off a certain way, started off terribly or whatever, but they've all started to. Obviously, Isak's injured, can't speak on him, but Verts is starting to pick up form. Why hasn't Eze been able to do that? Even for the other players that have been bought this season, some of them have been performing better. So I'm with Jazz. I think he's the worst signing of the season.
Yeah, we need to watch out. Doncey's going to join here.
For example, right? Arsenal, I still think they'll see out and win this league, right? But if they don't from here, if they don't win this league, a lot of Arsenal fans are going to look at Arteta. But for me, I'm going to look at the big money signing, the star.
Exactly.
Eze, these run of games until the end of the season right now, where are you? Why Man United didn't turn up in? To your next big game, to be fair, I'm not going to count Spurs with all due respect, but Man City, you need to turn up in that game. You also got Chelsea, you got to turn up in that. And the Champions League, you got to turn up as well. These games to secure this title, or even secure, say, a Champions League win, it's what you're brought up to. It's what you're about to do, right? So I get it, Arteta, yada yada yada. But people also tell me if a player's of the level, they can bypass a manager. So do that, because Arteta still has Arsenal in this position to potentially win, right? So do what Cunha did and score a banger to win it 3-2 or something. Do something. Do something to win this game.
But even then, but as well as I wouldn't even necessarily just the big games as well. From now to the end of the season, you coming over a game again. Okay, it's against Wigan League One. I know Dunsey was trying to gas it up yesterday. I wasn't having it, but this is the start of a momentum. Can you start from now all the way till the end of the season? Spurs is coming up. Can you go and do what you did last time around the Emirates? Then I think they play Wolves afterwards. Well, I think they play Wolves first and then us. You get the point. From now to the end of the season, and this includes Champions League and the FA Cup and the obviously Carabao Cup final. Can you go on and show a consistent level of high performances? I'm not saying every game you need to be chopping 8 out of 10s, 9 out of 10s, 10 out of 10s. I'm saying consistent, because you can probably argue Eze had probably more 4 out of 10s than even 6 out of 10s this season. So
yeah, 100%.
If you can do that from now to the end of the season, you can change. There's still enough time for them to change the narrative, and considering the fact you can easily change the narrative when you win a trophy. So
exactly, look at, for example, Palmer last year, or even last calendar year, 2025. We all agree Palmer was poor in 2025, but when it mattered for Chelsea and the run into the season, he turned up, helped us get top 4. He turned up for us to win the Club World Cup. He turned up in the Conference League final, whatever, it's Conference League. But those sort of things will matter. If you turn up in the latter stages and you help Arsenal win the Prem or win the Champs, all of a sudden people will forget about your first, 2/3 of the season. If you turn up now and start performing.
That's true too.
So
I think it's a bit harsh. Is he the worst signing? I don't know.
I don't think he's not the worst. The worst is worse because of the price tag. The worst is worse. It is worse.
he's in the for me. He's personally he's in the conversation. Like at least with
Yeah,
Virtus,
yeah.
obviously they paid double for Virtus, they paid double for Issa, but at least you can say with Virtus, at least he came from a different league. I'm not saying this is justifiable, but at least you can say something like because like
It's
you
an
said, Prime,
argument that you can make.
what are the excuses for Essex? Considering as well, he joined, if not the best, second best team. But depends on who you talking to. But he joined at worst the second best team in the league, considering that there should be no excuses for adjusting to the league.
Yeah. Prime Chelsea. Talk about Chelsea. You guys obviously got the win, but the draw against Leeds.
Hey,
I think
by the way,
that's
I gotta
probably
big up you guys.
yeah, all
Big
good.
up, Jess,
Jess.
big up.
Appreciate you joining as well every single time. Appreciate you, bro.
No problem. No problem.
But yeah, Prime. Obviously, the big talking point would be the Leeds game because you guys battered Hull, which I thought you guys would. Pedro Neto getting a hat trick, but the Leeds game, bottled the 2-goal lead. Still been getting good results under Liam Rossinier. I think that's probably like the biggest setback you probably had under him so far. But yeah, thoughts on just everything with Chelsea so far?
Yeah, I think we've played 11 games so far, and he's won what,
Like
8
at
of
least
them?
like 8 or 9.
Yeah, he's won 8. Lost obviously 2 to Arsenal, and now the draw. So
that's right.
It's a good start.
Yeah, it has been. It's just, I mean, yeah, I'm still like dejected with the season. Well, it's not It's not even down to him because he's been starting well. It's just, I don't really have hope in us like actually winning a trophy, which is annoying. But yeah, the against Leeds, it was just dumb. Our Kukurea came off, but then the back line, there was no leadership in that defense. It was Achingpong in there, Hato, who's young, Gusto, who's also young, and Chalobah, who apparently I can't expect him to actually lead our defense because reasons. So yeah,
Leeds goal, I think there was anything wrong with it.
What?
The one of the Leeds goals.
Our second goal that we conceded was a mixture of Achingpong made mistakes made a mistake in the lead up to the second goal, but as did Chalobah. And when I look at my defense, I'm not gonna crucify the 18-year-old. I'm gonna expect the experienced defender to kind of mop up and deal with the situation. But Chalobah sticking up his hand, trying to call a handball instead of just dealing with the phase of play. Just frustrating.
Do you think it's a foul?
No, it was a handball lead up to their goal, but it doesn't matter. You should play out the phase first before you start doing that. But regardless, Palmer, that miss at the end, that could have won us the game. And no one's really talking about what we conceded. So
no, let's talk about it. Can we talk about Cole Palmer real quick? Because what's up with him, man? What really is it? Is he still hurt? Is he still hurt? Is he just being played while he's hurt? Because I generally don't know whether he's fully fit.
Well, he's been rested, so he's been rested a lot the last while. So I don't know. Like to be fair, he was good against Leeds. Like he was okay against Leeds.
You know what I think it is? I think it's a little bit of how, because it's clear that like there's a certain way that your club treats him in terms of like, if I were to in a business term, like they want to protect their investment, if that makes sense, right? Like they don't try to give him too many minutes in too many games, especially when he comes back from injury. I think I could be wrong, Prime, but they've overruled the manager when it comes to decisions like that, right? Like that Cole Palmer can't play a certain number of minutes. He can't start like number of games when he's back from injury, or he needs to be protected, or he just needs to be.
Oh, they've done that well. Yeah, they've done that with a lot of our players.
I think that is a little bit of a problem of why he's been so out of form. I think that's a little bit of a little bit of why he's been out of form. I think it's down to him a little bit too in terms of just how he's been playing. He should be playing a little bit better. But I also think it's just how his treatments at the club so far, like in terms of managing his minutes, all of those type of things, reserving injuries, like all of that. I think that in turn is a little bit of why his forms dipped this year, this entire year. But what do you think's up with Cole Palmer?
No, you said what? What?
Lagging like shit. My bad. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good.
He's I don't know, because it's been the whole thing of him, like his groin injury, needing surgery or not taking surgery or whatever. But he's been like rested quite a bit lately. So I don't know. Like his last 2 games against Wolves and Leeds were like fine, like barring the miss at the end. The performances were fine. I know people are going to rave about the hat trick against Wolves, sure, but like I wouldn't say it's necessarily I wouldn't say it was like scintillating Palmer, but like he did play well. And hopefully now he can start building up momentum for us, because we're going to need his goals and also goals from João Pedro to actually get Champions League football again. Yeah,
it's not really much about Chelsea, is it? I mean,
yeah,
kind of like in a similar stage as us, United, because they've just also got a new manager competing with top 4 alongside with us. They were just on a completely different thing before with their previous manager, whereas we were a lot more negative with our previous manager with the results that we were getting. But yeah, like it's kind of a similar situation. I think both our teams do get top 4, by the way. Top 5, I should say, because top 5 can get Champions League possibly this year.
Yeah,
I think both our teams get top 5 this year. Honestly, I think Liverpool miss out. That's who I think miss out. But
yeah, I think it'll be a tough one. I don't like. I'm not like. I think Chelsea play fine. The only thing about Chelsea is when about the players they have. I think like that's it. I think that's literally like Chelsea's only downside is the player. Like, if you want a player and you're listen, I like Neto, but like Garnacho, when you get injured, so it's going to be Neto and Garnacho throughout most of the season, right from now on.
It's going to be Esteban's going to be playing a lot more. I think.
Oh, there's Esteban. That's true.
One thing about Rosenior that I like is very quickly he's figured out that Garnacho is not good and Neto is better than him, but also not that good either.
Do you think he has pressure to play Garnacho? Like from the board?
I guess
it was a board signing, right? It was a board. It was the board that pushed for that signing, right?
Well, yeah, one of the members of our sporting directors. I mean, yeah, I guess, but there should also have been pressure to, play Hato a lot more and Santos a lot more and Estevao and all these guys. So, and they weren't really playing as much as they are now, under Maresca. But I don't know. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm the wrong Chelsea fan to speak to, because I'm just like very much like dejected with the rest of the season. I have no real like hope or optimism to give.
I know what you mean.
I don't see us being able to actually attempt to win anything, which is annoying.
But yeah, like Chelsea's like when they draw and stuff. I don't know. It's not because of the way Rosner or Liam's setting them up.
No. The way we set up against low blocks is the best we've been set up in.
I think so too.
In the last few years, the way we set up against low blocks now compared to with Maresca and Poch is so much better.
I think so too.
All our technical players, our creative players, play a lot closer together. Palmer, João Pedro, Enzo, even Esteban, they're all very much closer together in the central area of the pitch, which helps us a lot because it's easier to break down a team like that, as opposed to going out wide when our wingers are not really that good, barring Esteban. So,
all players.
And Liam, just keep winning games, and I guess the next big game is Arsenal. If he can do something against Arsenal, then I'll I'll start to have a bit more confidence in us maybe trying to win a trophy. But he says all the right things, which is all great. But talk is cheap at Chelsea. So
I think you guys can do something against Arsenal. I don't see why not.
100%. I think you can because he's now like played them already in the Carabao Cup, and he's kind of known how they kind of gotten a good glimpse of it in terms of like on how he would set up the team and everything. So I
hope so.
I mean, that last game you guys had against Arsenal, let's be real, that wasn't like Arsenal weren't all over you.
It was still close.
Yeah,
like it wasn't.
I didn't watch both legs, so.
Yeah, that second leg was so close up until the end when Havertz scored. You could have still got it was 0-0 like almost in the entire game, pretty much, and it was so close.
It wouldn't be out of the world to say that you guys could do something against Arsenal. I just think like having Delap, there's some things in that game. I don't know if Liam told Delap to be wide out like that, but then I don't know if he's doesn't have the choice.
Was the game plan. But then again, when you look at both lineups in the semi-final, it was very much a weak lineup, bro. And we purposely put one out because they don't care about the semi-final. So my hope is against Arsenal in 3 games' time is that we have our stronger players out there, Palmer, Reece, and we can actually try and do something against them.
Yeah.
Well, see, listen, Rosenberg started like I have no complaints of him so far. I just do something against Arsenal, then I'll really start believing. But,
yeah. Cool. That is pretty much it for our show, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. You guys against about Arsenal, me thinking I'll win the league.
Oh yeah, go on. You could elaborate on why you think they'll win the league.
Yeah, I said if City don't beat Spurs, that the title is done. The Arsenal will end up winning it. And yeah, I know it's 4 points now, but I don't. City have lost my trust.
Convincing.
Yeah, City have lost my trust with them being consistent. To be able to secure it. It's not even that I believe in Arsenal. I just don't believe in City.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's true, Shik. We think that Spurs are bad. Like Spurs put up Spurs. They made Spurs look good at points. Like that's true.
No, but it's like, but that's the thing is like every single season like City have won, they've lost to Spurs like that season.
I know that
as well.
Yeah, I know that, but like, I expected
they just have their number. Like I just don't know how, but they just.
I don't think Spurs have ever been this bad at this point.
Yeah, I expected City to do something because if they had, at that point if they had won, would it have gone down to 3 points?
Yeah, I think it would have. Yeah, I think it would have gone down to 3 points.
I don't know. I just.
Big up energy.
I mean, there's 5 games left until Arsenal go to the Etihad. So let's see where the point total goes down at that point. But as of right now, I still think Arsenal will do enough to cross the line.
Yeah. But it stays 4 points.
They have to. They've been challenging for 4 years on the bounce. Like eventually, like something's got to give. Eventually, they have to win something. So
yeah, but they got to earn it, and they're not convincing me either. That's the thing. They've got to earn it, and they're not earning it. They don't look like a team of bro. They genuinely, all these years we've seen title winners. They don't look like a team of title winners. They genuinely don't, bro. When people need to step up, they don't step up. And
City don't look like title winners either, though.
But the thing is, City have players that can step up, though, and that have stepped up at this point of time in the season. We can't say the same thing about them.
Can you bring up like the last games of Arsenal and City?
Weak mentalities, bro. Too many fragile, weak mentalities.
I know you have dropped 9 points in the last month, no?
If you look at some of the games City have from. Like Arsenal, let's look at that. I'm just looking at fixtures.
1-1. Yeah, Arsenal and City was 1-1 last time they played.
Arsenal have to play. I'm just going through. They have to play Chelsea at home.
Mm-hmm.
They have to play City away. And they have to play Newcastle. But apart from that, I don't. see a lot of games that they would struggle. And City had to play Chelsea away.
But that's the thing is though, those are not the games that they normally, traditionally at this point of the season, draw points. Those aren't the type of games that they draw points in traditionally.
Yeah,
the big games they always play well. Like 8 times out of 10, they would win the big games. Only time they really lost the big game was to us this season. Other than that, they've been pretty much. They have a really good record against big teams. Like, and Liverpool maybe earlier this season as well, but they have a good
record against big teams. They don't. Arsenal don't have a good record against big teams this season.
This season?
Yeah.
They don't?
That's what I mean. Arsenal don't have.
Okay, they beat you guys the first game of the season, lost the second game.
Yeah.
They drew against Liverpool, lost to Liverpool. They beat Spurs. Cool, it's Spurs. They drew against Chelsea 1-1. They drew against City.
I'm just saying, like, if I'm looking at the last 4 or 5 of Arsenal's games, they've got.
My thing was more so just like these past seasons. They've been winning most of these big games. Yeah. Not just this season, but it's like traditionally though, even in those past seasons, they don't drop points in the latter stages to these big teams. They normally drop points to these lower sides. Like I can very much well see them drop points away to Brighton. I could see them drop points at home to Everton. I can see them drop points at home to Fulham. Like I can see them drop points in these games. I can. They can get drawn.
You're right. Now bring up City's games.
The City's last 4 games are Aston Villa, Bournemouth, Brentford, Everton. I mean,
City's next couple of games are tough. City's next couple of
games.
But
that's what I mean. My hope. Why I think Arsenal are winning the league is not because of I believe Arteta will do enough to cross the line. I just don't have faith in City. That Spurs game really defeated me. I have no faith.
I hear you, but it's like I hear you. For me, I'm just like they got Pep over there, man, and that guy is crazy. He's never gone 2 years without winning a league title.
But then people will keep saying that Pep's on the decline. The City team's finished. Like
I'll say that if you don't win, I'll say that if he doesn't win,
it both ways.
I'll say that if 100%, I'll say that if he doesn't win, if he ends up going 2 years without a league title, of course he's going to decline because he's
I know, but people are saying this already now. People are making the claim
I'm
now.
just like, it's the gap is still too close for me, bro. And I've seen how this ends up happening. I've seen this in previous years. I've seen Arsenal having a bigger lead. I've seen them be top of the table for a much longer time, and they've still ended up.
Shik, you would also agree that Man City haven't been as convincing this season as they were.
Yeah. They haven't been convincing. They've got Pep over there, and they've got a lot of players over there who can turn up in big moments. These guys don't. These guys don't. We just had this conversation about Eze and Gyökeres. What were these guys signed for this season? What have Arsenal fans been saying this entire time? We need a striker.
I agree.
Once we get the striker, we're gonna win. All that type of stuff.
I know. I writ the playbook on Arsenal's bottle gene. I know, but I also look at City, and my belief in you is gone now. I have no belief.
I hear that.
I'm sorry.
My things, both these things can be true. You're looking at City. I'm just looking at Arsenal, which is both very fair. So
I just listen. If we get to that game,
I hope it's Villa.
Oh yeah, Villa aren't doing anything, man. Let's not do that.
Of course, I know they're not going to do it.
Let's not put expectations in Villa. Just not. Just go win Europa.
But it's like if we were in the same position as Villa were, they would put expectations on us, Prime. So why can't we do that for them? Huh?
Because you're Man United and they're Villa.
But it is what it is. They're so mathematically in a title race.
Okay. But with it's just.
With that, that's Don logic.
If you get to the game at the Etihad, Don C logic. If you get to the game at the Etihad, and it's like 2-3 points, and then City win, okay. Nah, I'm on board. But
all I'm saying is, if it's still 4 points when they are walking into the Etihad, it's not over, lads. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
If
Yeah,
it's still
if it's
4
still
points,
4
if it
points,
stays like this, walking into the Etihad, it's not over. Definitely not over.
If it's 4 points going into the Etihad and City win,
But I'll
well,
also say this:
one.
if they draw to City at the Etihad, they've won the league title. They've won it.
Oh
They win
yeah.
it
All Arsenal need to do is not lose at the Etihad.
Yeah, not lose at the Etihad, and that's it. They'll win the league title. Yeah, they'll win it, and we will not speak about. We will not. The Mud Brothers episodes will end Premier League wise the moment the whistle is blown. We're gonna move strictly to World Cup content if that happens. I've made that very clear on this channel.
As soon as Arsenal mathematically win it, we go straight to World Cup top.
Yeah, because the Premier League is over, and then what next competition do we have? It's the World Cup. So it's like as hosts of this show, to give the viewers and the audience the great show that we do. I think it's only right that we move straight to the World Cup right after, so that we can get into the mood of the World Cup.
Yeah,
Prime, who are we supporting the World Cup? Who are we supporting?
Anyone that's not England.
Yeah. Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ireland, we're qualifying, so it's fine.
You think you're qualifying?
We've got the playoffs in next month. We'll be fine. We're qualifying.
Nah, we've got Italy, man. We're not gonna win that shit. But anyway.
My friends are Iraqi. I don't know if they're watching, but if they're listening, my friends are Iraqi. If Iraq make it to the World Cup, I'm supporting Iraq.
Hey, let's go Iraq. Let's go.
I thought your friends are Colombian.
Anyways, Premier League predictions. We have the first game on Wednesday. This midweek, this Wednesday, we have the first Premier League game, which is Wolves versus Arsenal. I'm gonna go for an easy, comfy Arsenal win, 3-1. Actually, 2-0. 2-0.
Who was it again? Sorry, about
Wolves and Arsenal. Wolves at home.
Yeah, 2-0 Arsenal.
Yeah, 4-0 Arsenal.
4-0 Arsenal. Madueke hat-trick. Aston Villa versus Leeds United. That's the first game on the Saturday. I'm gonna go for 1-0 Villa.
2-1 Villa.
Leeds every time.
1-1.
1-1. Cool. Next we have Brentford at home to Brighton. It's I'm gonna go for a draw. I'm gonna say 2-2.
Brentford 1-0.
2-0 Brentford.
2-0 Brentford. Cool. Next, we have the world champions Chelsea at home to Burnley. I'm gonna go for a comfy Chelsea win, 3-1 Chelsea.
4-1 Chelsea.
3-1 Chelsea.
Mike's team, West Ham, that did get a draw against us, is at home to Bournemouth. Shout out to Mike's every single time. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel if you haven't already. West Ham at home to Bournemouth. I'm gonna go for 1-0 Bournemouth.
1-1.
West Ham on the run. 2-0 West Ham.
2-0 West Ham. Cool. Then we have Manchester City at the Etihad playing Newcastle United. They've just drawn them in the FA Cup, so they're going to be playing them there. That's another competition where they'll be playing them. But Manchester City against Newcastle at home, I'm going to go for a comfy City win. Actually, no, I take that back. I'm going to go for a close game. I'm going to go for a 3-2 Manchester City. Actually, sorry, I take that back. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Manchester City. Bruno G is injured. They're not going to do shit.
2-2.
4-1 City.
4-1 City. Fairs. Next, we have Nottingham Forest up the Forest specifically for this game because they're going up against our biggest rivals, Liverpool, at home. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 Nottingham Forest.
3-1 Liverpool.
2-0 Forest. 2-0 Forest. Cool. Next, we got Crystal Palace at home to So Wolves. Oh yeah, okay, makes sense. Crystal Palace at home to Wolves. I'm gonna go for 3-1 Palace. By the way, Strand Larson's game against Wolves, yeah, and he's been scoring for Palace. I think he scored this past weekend.
2-0 Wolves.
2-0 Wolves.
2-1 Palace.
2-1 Palace. Cool. Sunderland next at home to Fulham at the Stadium of Light. I'm gonna go for Fulham 1-0.
Fulham Sunderland.
Yeah. Sunderland at home.
2-2.
1-0 Sunderland.
1-0 Sunderland. Next, we have new manager Bounce. First game for him in charge of Tottenham Hotspur, European champions, going up against Arsenal in the North London derby at Tottenham. I'm going to go for
Jesus Christ.
1-0 Arsenal. I think they'll fight, though, and it'll be close, but 1-0 Arsenal. They'll just do enough to get them. Gabriel header.
2-2.
You know what they say, guys? 2 dare is the 2 door. It's going to be an amazing performance from Spurs for 50 minutes. 3-1 Arsenal.
There we go. Cool. Last but not least, our club, Everton, playing. Sorry, I'll take that back. I'll say it. The best team in Merseyside playing against the best team in Manchester. Everton against Manchester United. I'm gonna go for 2-0 United.
2-1 United.
Oh, the clock's reset, right? For the games?
Did they? Oh yeah, the clock's reset and stuff, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. The 5 in a row. Okay, you'll win this one then. 2-0. 2-0 United. Oh, by the way. Oh, they're 16th. Never mind.
What? Spurs?
Spurs.
What about them?
They're 16th and 5 points away from relegation. So
they're in a relegation battle. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but they're not 15th in it, so
they're not 15th. Yeah.
Why I know about England? It's just a thing in the UK, bro. It's just any other country out in the UK or in Ireland, we just don't want England to win. It's just what it is, bro.
Because England fans are too annoying.
Yeah,
the England fans are the international version of Arsenal fans. They don't deserve it.
Well, they've had nothing to worry about all these years, so I'll tell you that. They've had nothing to worry about. But yeah, cool people. That is episode number 92.
So what about do you gotta do the Champions League?
Champions League, we can playoffs, but there's none of our teams in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But we could do them if you want. Yeah, we'll do them. Why not?
Or Newcastle are in it, I think, aren't they?
Newcastle, yeah. I meant like there's not like any of the other teams, but we can do it. No worries. So we'll do the first game. It is Galatasaray versus Juventus. I'm gonna go for 1-1.
So how does this work again? This is just a single
2 legs, same thing.
Two legs.
Same thing, yeah. 2 legs and normal shit. Aggregate. Yeah.
Oh.
Galatasaray 1-0.
You're not in the Champions League, so you're gonna pretend you don't know how it works. Oh.
No, it's the new format.
It was the same thing last year too. It was the same thing last year.
Yeah, you guys were in Europe last year.
Yeah.
No.
Remember Madrid played City in the playoffs and Madrid beat City. They knocked them out in the playoff rounds.
Hey, well, listen, we're not in Europe, okay? So
you were in Europe last year.
Yeah, don't remind me of it.
We were.
But yeah, 1-0 Galatasaray.
1-0 Galatasaray. Cool. What are you saying, Prime? That's our early game too.
2-1 Gala.
2-1 Gala. Cool. Next, we got Dortmund against Atalanta. I'm gonna go for 1-1 in this one as well.
2-1 Dortmund.
2-1 Dortmund.
2-0 Dortmund.
2-0 Dortmund. Cool. This next game is crazy. The fact that they have been tied together in the playoff rounds. It's Monaco versus PSG. I'm gonna go for 3-1 PSG. What a game!
We could be facing one of these two.
Yeah, he could be.
Yeah, you could be.
So, come on, Monaco, 3-1. Let's go.
Oh, you want to play PSG? You battered them earlier this season.
Yeah. Give me Monaco.
I'll go PSG 2-1.
2-1. Cool. Next, we got the return. Well, this is not the return, but we already saw it earlier. But Benfica, Mourinho going up against Real Madrid, his former club. I'm gonna go for, and Benfica got their number in the last game specifically. But I think Madrid are gonna win. I'm gonna go for 1-0 Madrid.
That's the one the goalkeeper scored, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the one.
His
goal is the one that sent them to the playoffs to play them again, which is crazy.
I don't know about the first leg, but I've got a feeling that Benfica will go to the Bernabeu and win and go through. I just don't know about the first leg.
Benfica looked good in their last game. I watched it. I was doing it good.
Yeah. Let's say.
Yeah, it's not convincing. That's why I just went for 1-0 Madrid.
Let's say 2-2. 2-2. Let's say draw.
1-1.
1-1. Cool. Next we have Karabakh against Newcastle. I'm gonna go for 2-2 in this one, but I think Newcastle will beat them at home. So I'm gonna go for 2-2 in this one.
Is Karabakh the team that the people are complaining about their pitch being like 4G pit or like? Well, it's not the team. Like their results at home were so much better than their results away. Mm-hmm. People were complaining about. Anyway, no, I don't think it'll happen this game. 2-0 Newcastle.
Fuck it, 3-1 Karabakh.
Yeah. That is crazy. If you go back and look at the Karabakh's results in the Champions League and look at their home games compared to their away games, yeah, it's funny.
You got some juju at their home ground, I guess.
Yeah,
what they're doing over there. But cool. Next we have Olympiacos versus Bayer Leverkusen. I'm gonna go for 1-0 Olympiacos.
Leverkusen.
Oh, Olympiacos is what's his name's team? Marinakis.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. Cool. Next we have Bodo Glimt against Inter. That's crazy, yo. Bodo Glimt have made the playoffs. That's mad. They were literally in the semifinal of the Europa League last year too. It's crazy. Bodo Glimt against Inter. I think Inter won this comfortably. I'm gonna say 3-0 Inter.
2-1 Inter.
Bodo Glimt. You know what? All right, let's do this. Upset. 2-1 Bodo Glimt.
Bodo did Man City. Come on, number that.
Mm-hmm. So let's do that in the upset. Come on, Bodo Glimt. Bodo Glimt are actually meant to be like a good side. That's kind of why I predicted Spurs to beat them in the semi-final. But you know,
fair play.
Yeah.
Fair play to them.
Yeah. But yeah, let's do that. 2-1 Bodo Glimt.
2-1 Bodo Glimt. Cool. Last game of the this first playoff round, it's Club Brugge against Atletico Madrid. I'm gonna go for 2-1 Atletico Madrid. They absolutely slapped up Barcelona this past weekend. I don't know if you guys watched it, by the way. It was crazy.
Yeah, seen that. Jesus. I don't like Atletico Madrid.
Oh, we know why. We know.
I go 1-1.
1-1.
2-0. Atletico.
2-0 Atletico. Perfect.
Yes.
That's pretty much it, people. So those were the Premier League predictions and the Champions League predictions. And that is episode number 92 of the My Brother Show that we run every single Monday. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Shout out to the guys who weren't able to make it today. Don C, Mdinero, Eli, CP. Big up to all those guys who weren't able to make it today every single time. Make sure you guys do check out their channels. Everyone's links are in the description. Subscribe and support everyone, just like how you do support me. We'll be back next week, of course, next Monday. Since United do play on the Monday, it works out perfectly. So we'll be live immediately after the game. There will be no match reaction for that game. We'll just do this show instead. So you'll get a fresh match reaction from me, myself, and Spooby on that show next Monday.
I'll be gone.
What's up?
I'll be gone. I'm going on holiday.
You're going on the holiday? Enjoy your holiday.
I'm going to Tenerife. Let's go.
Another Mud Brother funded holiday.
Sponsored by Mod Brews. Sponsored by Mod Brews.
No, I actually had no part in this. I had no part in this.
No, he did.
I don't know where he
got
these
contract.
funds
Sorry, Prime. It's part of the contract.
I don't know where he got these funds from. But I was.
Well, United win 4 games in a row, and all of a sudden you can go on holiday.
Yeah.
I checked the Mud Brothers bank account. It's still the same balance that it was yesterday. So I don't know where he got these funds from. Maybe he's funneling them through some sort of like
sponsorships and all that.
We'll be on holiday before United trying to get to cut his hair. That's mad. That's mad.
Say that again, Prime. You cut out. Say that again.
Nah, he's gonna kick me. Never mind.
Say that again.
He's gonna kick you. What?
You sound about it.
Oh, the guy's gonna cut his hair. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't hear me?
No. What'd you say?
I said, Spooby going on holiday before United's trying to cut his hair.
Can't hear you. Your mic's messing up.
You really can't hear me?
No.
Yeah.
It's
Is
mic's messing up.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I said, Spooby getting his haircut before United's trying, or Spooby going on holiday before United's trying to get his haircut.
Yeah. You know what happens? It's when you're part of Mod Bros and you get that big money. Thank you, Shik, for sponsoring my trip away. Just other Mod Bros, you have to deal with it. Okay.
So
he is one of the first few on the channel, so that was something written in the first few contracts. It was something written in there. So I guess it's a way of me showing, like, me giving back for all the loyalty that.
It's loyalty fee. Is that what they do in Football Manager? Loyalty fee.
Is that why there was all those cutbacks at Mud Brothers? Is that why Will's not here anymore? The fun Spooby's holidays.
Yeah. Will tried to sue me. Will tried to sue me. It was a whole thing, but it's whatever. Yeah, he tried to sue me. There was a lot of things like there was a report out in the newspapers that like apparently I don't treat everybody the same and like some contracts are different. So, anyways, it's all been everyone's been paid off. Settlements have been made. It's all been pushed under the rug.
Hey, Prime, where are you going on holiday, Prime? With your money?
Chelsea need to. We need to get Champions League football and win a trophy first. So
shit!
I'm on an incentive-based
appearance fee. You got an appearance fee.
By the incentives. I've not
Obviously,
made I've not made enough videos for the channel this season. So I'm going holiday.
Yeah.
Well, that and also just like you're just not a United fan by default. So all United fans will just get that loyalty fee added onto their contract by default.
Yeah. Let's go, lads. Let's go.
So
let's go. Come on.
Anyways,
contract. I hear it.
I still might join if I've got time. If I can get a place without people like annoying the shit out of me. Like I know I can go out into I can go out onto the pool
Nah,
you know.
enjoy your holiday, man. You're gonna be out
Nah,
on holiday.
come on.
Enjoy your time.
I'll be
Don't
at
worry
like
about
10,
football.
10 at night would be like 12 there.
Okay.
Where are you going?
So I should Tenerife.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Enjoy, man.
Nice.
Enjoy
That Mud Brother
enjoy.
money's different. Tenerife.
Yeah. I'm
you're
at a
in-
private house.
And this
I'm
time,
not in a
this
hotel.
time last year, you were where? India?
Yeah.
This is like
Crazy.
that's like
I think that was a punishment, but go ahead.
No, that was not a punishment.
No.
That
Last
was
year
his
was
own
choice.
well, last year was a quote unquote the Sancho retreat treatment, quote unquote.
Yeah.
I don't think he retreated though, but I just
Where are you going? Hey, Spooby, have you decided where you're going next year?
No.
The
Next
Mud
year?
Brother contract. Yeah, where are you going?
Fucking I don't know. Maybe
He's paying for it.
maybe
You might as well.
America might be on my list. America might be on the list. Unless Trump, I don't know, gets executed me or something.
You better delete your tweets.
He's not gonna do nothing to you, man. He's not gonna do nothing to you. But cool, people. That's it for episode number 92. We'll catch you guys all next week for episode number 93. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your week. Stay blessed. And
Big up TJ.
As always, big up to TJ every single time too. Big up TJ. Make sure you guys go subscribe to TJ's channel if you haven't already as well, people.
Subscribe.
But yeah, as always, Spoobs, Arteta in.
Arteta in. Let's go, TJ. Arteta in.
Arteta in, people.